Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. Guys, I am literally shaking after I discovered this two-way reversal top, which is indicating a big warning sign for Bitcoin. Yes, because since this here is playing out perfectly, the price objective from this two-way reversal could bring the price of Bitcoin around 20,000 and even lower. And not just only this, we're also going to have a quick look at this BNB chart, Ethereum chart. So guys, before I jump into the content, destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching it the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So first thing first, we are going to look at this Bitcoin chart in a weekly time frame, because according to the psychology of a market cycle, price after breaking out of this upper line from this falling wedge, we reach the price objective just like as shown in an example. But after reaching the price objective, the price started showing weakness. And if you look at this example here, we formed a double top before price started showing this bearishness and also headed towards to form a new low, new accumulation phase, and only after that started this new markup phase. Because right now there are a lot of discussion whether this here is a disbelief or an anger phase. But if you look at this chart, you can see it does looks like the price of Bitcoin could be in this anger phase, because it's not just only the psychology of market cycle which is showing us this, but also the distribution schematic from Wyckoff's event and phases. Because if you look at this event and phases scenario for Bitcoin, you can see we could be in this phase E. In phase E, the price after showing some relief rally again starts showing this bearishness and also heads towards the next area of confluence. And in our case, the next area of confluence could be below the previous low, and that will also indicate maybe the price of Bitcoin, since it has failed to break out of the 25,000, could slowly be heading towards to form a new low before forming an actual accumulation phase and also starting with this new markup phase. Because if that happens, then even this psychology of market cycle is going to play out perfectly. But what we are not allowed to forget, it's not just only the rejection because price reached the price objective from this falling wedge. No guys, we also had resistance in a monthly time frame after reaching exactly around this falling trend line or this long-term resistance line, and also after approaching around this 200 weekly moving average. This is exactly where we got rejected. So what is this chart flashing us right now? You can see in the past price action, only after breaking out of this long-term resistance line, only after finding support of this 200 weekly moving average, we started with this new markup phase. Here a very similar scenario unfolded. Price was actually getting rejected each and every time while trying to break out of this long-term resistance line, but when it did, and when the price was also above 200 moving average, we started with this new markup phase. So in our case, the price of Bitcoin is still below 200 weekly moving average and also below this long-term resistance line. So that's why guys, please be careful, because it is clearly indicating the bearish scenario for Bitcoin is not over yet. The reason why I want you guys to be aware is because we just discovered 2B reversal pattern. This is one of the most important chart right now for Bitcoin, because you can see so far it is playing out perfectly, which is indicating a big warning sign for the upcoming days for Bitcoin. In an uptrend, if price penetrates the previous high, which it did in our case, right, but fails to carry through and immediately drops below the previous high, the trend is apt to reverse. The converse is true for downtrend. The 2B principle gets its power from the large number of stop loss order in the area of X. Many traders who bought the breakout will have their stop loss orders there. So if price falls below the blue line here, those stop loss will be hit, driving price breakdown with trust, which it happened in our case. So if you enter short as the breakout traders are bailing out of their positions, the burst of selling can propel your trade into a green so quickly that before you even put your stop loss, your trade is already in profit. Another name for this 2B is spring. Imagine the blue line in the graphic as a rubber band. The bigger the poke above the blue line, the stronger the reversal potential if the breakout fails. This same principle works on failed triangle breakouts and failed trend line breakouts. So if you were unfortunate and bought the breakout, instead of putting your stop loss at the X, consider making at a stop and reverse. So this pattern occurs at the top and bottom of consolidation as well as a major reversal. So this to be reversal pattern right now is indicating us the market, right? The market, once we break this support, we will be slowly continuing our downtrend here in this manner. So guys, this is another warning sign which is being flashed in the upcoming days. But in the medium short term, I even showed you with this descending channel a relief rally towards the upper trend line, which could bring the price again around 22,800 to 23,000 range. But we have to break that into any cost, because you can see this area around that range 22,800 23,000 was a very important line of support. So this exact line is going to act as a resistance, and we also had resistance from this falling trend line, and along with that even this 200 exponential moving average in a 4-hour time frame, because this has acted as a support. This same line is going to be rejecting the price. So price of Bitcoin definitely has some very strong line of resistance lying around this 23,000 range, but the overall market structure still looks very weak, because this bear flag pattern hasn't played out yet. Price could show some relief rally, but at the end we could still continue our trend here like this. We also included the dead cat bounce trading pattern with a potential price opportunity around 21,500 21,600 range. Even the target from this bear flag is going to be around 21,500 21,600 range. So you can see many different scenarios are pointing us in the medium short term. Unless we break above this 23,000 resistance line, the price of Bitcoin is going to continue this downtrend like this. Yes, forming more of a lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern type of scenario. So please keep this in mind, and also please do not over leverage yourself at this current state. So let's also have a quick look at this Binance coin, because if you look at this structure I showed you yesterday, this here does looks like a descending triangle. Descending triangle is a bearish scenario, because in a downtrend we found out when the price of BNB was showing this consolidation but also broke out of this key line of support, what followed after that? A price retracement. Yes, the price after breaking out of this key line of support clearly started showing this bearishness, and this bearishness ended when we reached the support from this rising trend line. So in the medium short term, this rising trend line is going to be looked as our support, but also the line where the price of BNB could be getting gravitated once we feel the support around $280. Yes, $280. Once the price of BNB is around that range, I will be looking at this short opportunity, and I'm also going to short it until this rising trend line here to the downside. And also guys, also what you have to take into consideration in a bigger frame, right, in a weekly frame, if you look at this price structure, we can call this a triple top as well, right? This does looks like a triple top formation as well. So please be careful, because this will result in a bigger price correction. So if this triple top scenario is going to play out, then you can see in that case the price of BNB could go even lower. I mean, this here is the worst case target, which is going to be around 150 170 range. So this will also be looked as our upcoming target once we break the support which we have around $280, and even the support from this bigger rising trend line around 250 range. So this is what I see looking at price action of Bitcoin, price action of BNB. And now let's have a quick look at this Ethereum chart, because for Ethereum, since the price is still following this rising trend line, this line here is for now one of the most important support, but also a line which is acting as a resistance at this current stage. The exact line which acted as a support is acting as a resistance. So in the medium short term, if the price of Ethereum wants to invalidate this bearish scenario, then we need to find support above this rising trend line. But to come across this rising trend line, we need to overcome some more obstacle, because yesterday I showed you with this inverse head and shoulder type of formation, if the support is going to remain around 1,550, then there could be, right, there could be some relief rally, price again forming this right shoulder. And if this right shoulder breakout is going to happen, then this rising trend line, the bigger rising trend line, is where we could be getting attracted above 1800. But for all of these bullish scenarios to play out, we need to overcome the resistance from this descending channel. If we simply switch this into 4-hour time frame, you can see this descending channel is playing out perfectly so far. So if it is going to be a continuation like this, where the price forms lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern, then we have to be careful. But if it's going to be a breakout, I mean price going to break out of this resistance line, flip it into support, then the neckline from the inverse head and shoulder is going to be looked as a potential target, and breaking that could bring the price even higher. But we just found out with Bitcoin price action, the market is showing weakness and also a potential sign of continuation here to the downside. So that's why the probability of this bullish scenario to play out is very less. But for now, even if this is going to be a continuation, then we need to break out of this upper line resistance from this descending channel before price decides the trend direction. So please guys, be careful and do not over leverage yourself at this current stage. And also regarding this 2B reversal chart, I will share this chart on my Twitter account. Yes, Crypto Anup is my Twitter account name, so follow me there. And also a friendly reminder, we have only one more days left to claim this $6,050 welcome bonus. Yes, this $6,050 welcome bonus with additional $10 to all Crypto Anup community. So if you want to take advantage of this market volatility, if you want to trade with free money, the time to act is now.